Chapter 021 The Evolution of the Small Skin. There is no need for this thing at all. And from the evolution of the first paragraph, Sumyu could also see it. The evolution of the small skin should have nothing to do with the physique. Mainly the mind control of the yellow seal, and the mastery of the power of the wind. The improvement of physical fitness does not have much significance for small skin. It is also possible to directly increase the strength of the little skin, and there will be some unknown effects on the evolutionary route of the yellow-clad King Asta. However, if he didn't eat it directly, Sumyu was still a little uneasy. This is a monarchical resource, and in the market, the price of 7 or 8 figures, there are a lot of people to buy. Who knows if someone will move their minds and eat it directly, which can also be regarded as cutting off the thoughts of those people. Sumyu also asked, although this dragon blood fruit is extremely useful, but if you take it directly, there is nothing wrong. Before that, Sumyu really thought about whether to use this dragon blood fruit as an excuse to cover up the truth about the improvement of Xiaopai's strength. Even after being promoted to the elite level, or even after the real completion of evolution. But in the end, Sumyu still vetoed it. Xiaopai's evolutionary form, he is not sure now, when it really appears in front of the public, it will certainly still attract discussion. If the official came forward and used the dragon's blood fruit to test the macular snake and did not complete the evolution, then this lie would not be self-defeating. On the contrary, after successfully evolving the small skin, after telling the evolution path of this macular snake, the benefits that can be brought to him are unimaginable. Because in the display in the mythological illustration, it is very clear. Only Xiaopai, the yellow-spotted snake that has integrated into Asta's dream, can really control the yellow seal. Become the master of the yellow seal. The ordinary yellow spot snake can evolve in this way, but it cannot control the yellow seal and has the ability of the yellow seal. There was a difference here, and he wasn't worried that the little skin would be copied. And found a pet beast evolution that is so simple, so practical, so inexpensive. Or the yellow spot snake, a popular species, then the benefits to Sumyu. In addition to the instant resounding of the national reputation, there is also the Royal Beast Master Association, the evaluation reward for the discovery of evolutionary channels. At that time, I'm afraid that a single dragon's blood fruit is nothing. The Royal Beast Master Association is the real rich and powerful, not to mention the resources of the monarch level, the imperial level, and even the resources of the Holy Spirit level. There is no shortage of them. This is also why the national authorities have encouraged the discovery of other special evolutionary channels to be published. The individual gains tremendously, and the rest of the country's imperial beast masters are able to have a new option. Subtly, as a result, the national strength of the Yanhuang ancient kingdom became stronger and stronger, and the right to speak was further enhanced in the entire Blue Star Human Federation. It is precisely so, nowadays. In fact, the most precious thing for Sumyu now is not anything else, but the special evolution of the yellow spot snake, which is somewhat underworld. It's just that I'm not in a hurry now. Only after Xiaopai had truly evolved for the first time could Sumyu submit this special evolution method to the Imperial Beast Master Association. Let the people of the Imperial Beast Master Association evaluate the value of this evolutionary method. As soon as the dragon blood fruit entered his abdomen, Sumyu only felt as if his abdomen had a warm hearth, and a hot feeling flowed from his abdomen to the limbs and hundreds of skeletons. His fist clenched violently, only to feel that his strength had increased a lot at once. Even a single punch can directly kill an ordinary 8th-order pet beast. Dragon blood fruit, after all, is a monarch-level resource treasure to improve physical fitness. This improvement in strength and physique is not how unexpected it is. Sumyu glanced at the 3 people who had not yet returned to God, and directly thought about it. Sizzle. Xiaopai hissed, and the faces of these 3 people changed drastically when they boarded, and then they didn't even think about it directly, and crushed the heavenly dome on their bodies. In an instant, 3 rays of light lit up, and the 3 of them and their pet beasts disappeared directly into the secret realm. Their pet beasts were directly shocked. This secret realm is not a safe realm. If they encounter any other pet beasts, such as this red-blooded demon lizard, then they may not even have the opportunity to crush the eye of the heavenly dome. After glancing at the 3 people who had left, Sumyu picked up the corners of his mouth, revealing a disdainful arc. Then he turned his head and looked at another figure. After seeing the gaze of this star, the red blood demon lizard directly puffed out and actually fell directly on the ground, and the snake-like head fell to the ground. The green and brilliant needle-shaped pupils revealed a wisp of flattery and flattery. Pet beasts naturally have wisdom, but Sumyu has really never seen such a vivid ordinary pet beast. Do you even know how to please and ask for forgiveness? Sumyu's heart moved. The consumption of Xiaopai's wind realm is not small, even if it is only this deterrent effect. It is not something that can be used casually. In this Earth Dragon secret realm, there are still an unknown number of other resources, as well as other pet beasts that may exist. This red-blooded demon lizard is an ordinary peak, and the potential is still the existence of the general level, which can be said to be a pretty good thug. It is rare that his spiritual intelligence is so good. If he kills it, it is really a pity. After all, this red-blood demon lizard's body really didn't have any skills that Sumyu wanted. Thinking of this, Sumyu smiled slightly. Rest assured, I won't kill you. Not only that, but if you follow me, I may give you some benefits afterwards. How is it? As soon as these words came out, the red-blood demon lizard's eyes lit up. Busy nodded. Red-blood demon lizard, wild. Level, normal 10th order. Potential, general 10th order. Talents, mold, normal, magic blood, elite. Skills, highly toxic spitting, elite, climbing, normal, hard skin, elite. A decent red-blooded demon lizard. The poison attribute seems to also have a pet beast of dragon blood. It's just that I have to say that the Tujian can't see everything, such as the superb wisdom of this red-blooded demon lizard, which is really quite satisfying to him. At least in this secret realm, he can be a fairly qualified thug, and Sumyu naturally had other plans. He has a book of mythology, but the pet beast that can contract has great constraints because of the realm. This undoubtedly greatly limited his play. It also limits the play of the mythological illustration. Some pet beasts that he can see can be cultivated well. Even if they can't be contracted, they can still exist as a second team. Even if it is not the second team, I can let it be used as a nursing home in the future. This red-blooded demon lizard seemed ordinary, but Sumyu saw something unusual at a glance. Thinking of this, Sumyu smiled slightly and directly held out his hand. Under the suppression of Xiaopai, this was the red-blood demon lizard who did not dare to resist even a little, and was directly absorbed into the imperial beast space by him. At the same time, the mythical atlas once again emerged from Sumyu's mind. Chapter 022. At this moment, these big people who were watching the inside of the secret realm from the outside were completely numb. With such a moment of effort, Sumyu undoubtedly became the focus of their sight, the center. However, Sumyu's move still made everyone a little unresponsive. Put a wild royal beast into your own royal beast space. Is this not common sense, or is the artist bold? Are you really afraid that this red-blooded demon lizard will explode? In the imperial beast space, the great destruction of the imperial beast space is not easy to repair, and it may even be impossible to promote again in this lifetime. However, I have to say that with such a moment of effort, Sumyu has greatly improved the acceptance ability of these people, and in their opinion, even this little thing is nothing. However, in fact, this little thing is really nothing for Sumyu. There is the suppression of the realm of the imperial wind. The imperial chi of the yellow-spotted snake's small skin. How could the red-blood demon lizard dare to toss something? And I have to say that the wisdom of this red-blooded demon lizard is indeed extraordinary. It seemed to sense that Sumyu really had no ill will toward him. In this imperial beast space, it was also extremely well behaved, if it were not for the appearance of this vicious dark lizard. Others may think that this is a domestic dog. However, it was similar for Sumyu, because Sumyu had already made up his mind in his heart this red-blooded demon lizard, if it is cultivated well in the future, if it wants to become his contract pet beast, it may not have that qualification. But it is still possible to become a second team and be responsible for the nursing home. It is also in line with the setting of the domestic dog. However, even if he becomes a domestic dog who cares for his home, it depends on whether he has the potential and qualifications. If there is no potential that fits with the mythological map, Sumyu really may not be able to see this big lizard with a low IQ. Although the two small, fingernail-sized meatballs on the back of this big lizard still made Sumyu care. But for Sumyu, for the mythical picture book, he estimated dragons may really be the lowest level in the mythological picture book. Not a rarity. At this moment, the mythical picture book appeared instantly. Mythologizing is possible. Is it a mythical form of proportionality to be found in the picture book? Yes. As soon as Sumyu's mind moved, this mythical book of pictures was opened again, and the picture books one by one, page after page, began to swing rapidly. Soon, several drawings slowly flew out of it and appeared in front of Sumyu's eyes. However, compared to the small skin of the yellow spotted snake that had just been born, this time, the number of red blood demon lizards that had reached the ordinary 10th order was much less. Before the small skin, there are more than 10 sheets. Although the low success rate of a person like Nuwa is almost negligible, there is also a chance of 0.00001%. This red-blooded demon lizard only had 4 of them. Moreover, among these 4 sheets, the degree of fit is relatively average, only one reaches more than 80, and the rest are below 50. Sure enough, the nursing home is not something that ordinary beasts can do. Sumyu shook his head slightly, and his consciousness entered the last mythological book. This picture book is also extremely familiar to him. I've seen it once before. The Black Dragon King who devoured the World Tree, the Sweeper after Dusk of the Gods, Niederhog. Sumyu also had nothing new, and after feeling it, he looked at the feedback given to him by the mythical chart book again. However, at this look, he was stunned. Mythological form, Niederhog. A black dragon at the base of the World Tree, with unimaginably high poison, is sometimes thought of as a giant serpent. Together with countless poisonous snakes, it continues to gnaw away at the roots of the World Tree until it is finally destroyed. Fit level, 99.5%. Estimated number of transformations and evolutions, 6 times. Transformation difficulty, low. Expected success rate of the transformation, 100%. 100% chance of success in the retrofit? It's even harder to retrofit than a small leather. It only takes 6 retrofits. The fit level reached an incredible 99.5%. Even among the transformations that Xiao Pai had made in the mythical atlas book, he hadn't seen such exaggerated data. This red-blooded demon lizard has such a high degree of fit with this Western mythical Niederhog. But it seems to be the same. Western dragons are all this kind of big lizard with wings? The red blood demon lizard was originally a large black lizard. And I don't know if it is because of this dragon's secret realm. The back also seems to have a bit of the meaning of dragon blood revival. It's just that I can't see a specific one yet. And Niederhog is also a legendary poisonous dragon. By gnawing at the tree of the world, it corrodes it with venom. Needless to say, this red-blooded demon lizard, both in terms of talent and skill, showed that this was a pet beast with pure poisonous attributes. The perfect fit. For Niederhog, it seems to be said in the past. Sumyu blinked, nodded with satisfaction, and looked at this red-blooded demon lizard that was still a little confused. His choice allowed the remaining 3 books to return to the album of the mythological picture book. And the book that belonged to Niederhog exploded. It turned into a series of fragments and directly merged into the body of this red-blooded demon lizard. For an instant, the red-blood demon lizard only felt as if it had had a dream. In the dream, it transformed into a gigantic dark dragon. With one mouth, under the terrifying black poisonous flames, the whole world, the whole earth, turned into a devastation. Incredibly powerful, incredibly terrifying. It was countless times more terrifying than the human who had inflicted great psychological trauma on its young soul and the terrifying little dark snake. However, it was just when it was full of pride and wanted to oppose the guest and directly control the human and the little snake as its pet and slave. It only felt the greatest horror of the world coming, and the man, and the little serpent, just glanced at it, and it trembled again. Indescribable, terrifying to the extreme. Then, the red-blood demon lizard was directly awakened by his dream. It looked at the human being in front of it. The latter patted him on the head. Did you have a dream? Sizzle, it nodded. The latter laughed again. In the future, obey, watch me well, and you will have the opportunity to become like in your dreams. As soon as these words came out, the red-blood demon lizard was stunned again. Then, squatting on the ground more obediently than just now, the purple-black letter spat out to his mouth, hissing like a domesticated dog barking. Sumyu nodded satisfactorily. Only then did it throw it back out of the imperial beast's face. The red-blood demon lizard was not only not humiliated in the slightest, but was full of ambition at this moment. Although the human and the little yellow snake still rode on its head. However, in that dream, it was no longer an ordinary human being or a small yellow snake. That's its great big brother of the great black dragon king and even greater masters. What happened to the nursing home? What's wrong with the watchdog as a dog? Ordinary lizards do not say. It is estimated that at that time, that is, other dragons want to come. There is no way yet. Chapter 023 Hiss, Master, where are we going? This secret is familiar to me. The red blood demon lizard came to Sumyu's side in a flattering way, and the letter in his mouth made a slight hissing sound. Then, just as this sound came out, this huge lizard was directly swept out by a cracking sound. It's like being hit directly by a sledgehammer. The red-blooded demon lizard was just about to get angry when it saw the rather unkind skin of the yellow spotted snake in its eyes. The latter let out an equally soft hiss in his gaze. Sizzle! This is my cry, you can't call your master that. The red-blooded demon lizard felt that he was somewhat wronged. However, he felt the pain and the terror of the pressure, and quickly fell to the ground, holding his head with 2 front paws. Then, the black and red letter was slowly sent out again. Oh, Finally, after a snort sound, Xiao Pai nodded with satisfaction. The red blood demon lizard rushed over again. Master, let's go. There are still a lot of good things in this secret place. Maybe Big Brother can use it too. Xiao Pai glanced lazily at the red-blooded demon lizard. He nodded with satisfaction. That's a competent dog's leg. It barely endorses this guy. Sumyu, who was on the side, also slowly opened his eyes. Just the scene. He looked in his eyes, but he didn't care much. In comparison, the little skin who concluded the contract with him is undoubtedly more important. And he didn't care about that. Only because he already knew what the red-blooded demon lizard wanted to evolve into a mythical form, what the first evolutionary requirements of the Niederhog were. Sumyu glanced at the red-blooded demon lizard that was flattered over there. I couldn't help but feel a wisp of pity for this big black lizard. Looking at Sumyu's gaze, the red-blood demon lizard felt some chills on its back. However, he noticed that his master was looking at him, and he still rushed over to him, all flattering and flattering. Sumyu glanced at it. You're familiar with this secret place? Snort. The red-blood demon lizard nodded hesitantly. Well, if that's the case, then you lead the way. If this thing is done well, it will be a great achievement. The scope of the secret realm is neither big nor small. If you have to say it, thousands of square kilometers are still more than enough. Even the Imperial Beast Master couldn't dig this place 3 feet into the ground in a short period of time, and he knew everything clearly. And with this red-blooded demon lizard's lead, there is no doubt that he has one greater advantage than others. Rush. Our slogan is, empty the secret place. Sizzle. Empty the secret place. Whoops. Empty the secret place. Confused? At this moment, on the top of this park square where Chongyang District and Hanyang District meet, these are the most important people in the mountain city. Looking at the picture at this time, the eye of the heavenly dome can be said to be above the clear picture, and everyone is confused. During this trip to the secret realm, they found that it seemed that with this one named Sumyu, the painting style suddenly became wrong. Especially just now, after the 3 Imperial Beast Masters led by Li Feng were brought out of the secret realm in advance by the Eye of Annihilation. At this moment, after Li Feng and the 3 of them saw Sumyu in this picture, in addition to their grudges, there was also a wisp of happiness. If only 3 of these 30 people had caught nothing and had been sent out of this secret realm in advance, then naturally there was no need to say more. But if there are others who do the same, at least it has nothing to do with their abilities. It's purely that this guy is too perverted, and the luck of his own and others is not so good. At this time, Sumyu in this secret realm was indeed like this. Countless big guys looked at the figures that were forced or semi-forcibly sent out one by one, and their faces were even darker? No way. There are even many people with status and family backgrounds that are quite extraordinary. Even like Chen Xiao, he could get a rare monarch-level cub contract. But still that sentence, the racial potential level does not represent the current combat strength. Not to mention, Sumyu, a shameless boy, was still carrying that red-blooded demon lizard who was willing to fall. The red-blood demon lizard is a favorite beast with the potential of the general, and it is different from those greenhouse flowers that are not experienced in combat. In the case of being a loyal dog leg, it can be said that it is quite hard, even if it is a monarch-level pet beast. It is a younger brother who has not grown up. Facing the red-blooded demon lizard, experienced in combat, was already quite reluctant, not to mention the weird yellow-spotted snake. What kind of macular snake can release the wind blade? Who has seen this? The ghost knew how this yellow-spotted snake in the underworld had been cultivated. Is teaching talent so anti-heavenly? Isn't this macular snake a pet beast without attributes? And can it also let the attributeless pet beast master the power of the rest of the attributes? If it were really so outrageous, wouldn't this talent have long been directly defined as an emperor-level talent, or even a Holy Spirit-level talent, long after it appeared? Where can it be put into the special talent of chicken ribs, dragon blood fruit, dragon beard grass, earth red copper, blazing sulfur? Just a few moments of effort, this boy has already obtained 3 monarch-level resources, 1 general-level resource. Someone said helplessly on the sidelines. Even jealousy arose. These things, even some of them, are not so easy to get. Now, all of them have been brought into the hands of this boy, but that's fine, it should end there. I guess. This kid should have gone there with the rest of the people? Someone laughed. That's it. Sumyu looked at the empty eyes. The red-blooded demon lizard's snorting voice sounded in his ears, no doubt trying to explain that there should have been a piece of amber in the center of the earth. Of course, Sumyu knew that the red-blood demon lizard would not deceive himself. But he also knew that there were naturally a lot of resource treasures in this Earth Dragon's secret realm, but he was only one person, and there would be other people who were lucky enough to come in and take them away. After all, the previous time when President Wang had clearly mentioned that as long as it was a resource that had been obtained by someone, it could not be forcibly plundered. Whew! Sumyu slowly let out a breath and looked in one direction. The red-blood demon lizard had told him that in this secret realm, the most valuable fire dragon scale was there. However, it seems to be the most dangerous there. Chapter 024. You say, is this little guy a rival to that thing? Someone smiled and opened his mouth, watching Sumyu go towards the highest point of the secret realm, the highest peak of this mountain. Enough choking. I'm afraid that even all of you here, at this stage of the year, want to defeat that thing. It is impossible. I really don't know how the secret realm was formed. There would be something like that? Not necessarily. I'm still quite optimistic about this little guy. How could it be? It was an emperor-level being, and it had a special posture, not like a cub, but the strength and realm were real. It's a mountain peak. In the middle of this mysterious mountain, it is at the highest peak. The reddish-yellow mountain stone is extremely conspicuous in this heaven and earth. Sumyu also knew that this realm was so conspicuous, naturally he couldn't come alone. But after coming here, Sumyu really didn't expect that there were so many people here. When he was scavenging for the resources of the secret realm before, he was the 3 Li Feng people before, and he probably eliminated more than 10 people. However, at this moment, on this mountain, next to a big rock, there were more than 10 people sitting inside and out. It can be seen from this that in this Earth Dragon secret realm, it is estimated that most of them are here, except for those who have been eliminated by themselves. And Sumyu also saw Chen Xiaoxiao and Li Ping in the crowd. See Sumyu's arrival. This little princess of the Kunlun group, among the people who participated in the secret realm exploration this time, also deserved to be the most focused. The action at this time has undoubtedly attracted everyone's attention. Sumyu, here you are. I thought you couldn't find it here? Sumyu was a little suspicious. He originally thought that so many people were here because they wanted the scale of the fire dragon and had some contention, and they did not dare to do it without permission. But now look at these guys, how are they all listless one by one? Even Chen Xiaoxiao, who was excited before, was a little frustrated and disappointed under the smile at this time. What's wrong with that? Could it be that there are no fire dragon scales in this Earth Dragon secret realm? Sumyu asked directly. Chen Xiaoxiao looked at the red-blooded demon lizard following Sumyu with some surprise, and was a little jealous of it. Why does this guy like to find these strange pet beasts, like his own little red, such a beautiful and powerful pet beast not to find, but do not know where to find such a lizard? However, Chen Xiaoxiao did not say much, just shook his head helplessly and pointed to a huge strange cave above the mountain. The fire dragon scales are there. It's just that there is a 3-eyed glass beast that was originally an imperial level, but was suppressed to the ordinary level. Someone on the side continued to speak, and there was some helplessness. Even they couldn't defeat the 3-eyed glass beast. Sumyu raised an eyebrow. You can't go up with so many of you. Ahem. Where is it so simple? That cave is a special space. At the same time only one person can enter? Can you think of things that so many of us here can't think of? Li Ping stood up and snorted coldly. Now, a month has passed since the events of that day. This month, Li Ping had worked hard to train that ghost doll, just to prepare for a snow in this Earth Dragon's secret realm. Now that I have finally met this guy, I naturally want to jump straight out. Oh. Sumyu looked at the cave with some surprise. There was such a thing. It was really magical. I just don't know, like myself, I just contracted a pet beast, but I accepted a red-blooded demon lizard. As a little brother, whether I can enter this cave? Three-eyed glass beast? Sumyu really didn't think about what this thing was for a moment. Sumyu, do you remember the humiliation you gave me a month ago? Suddenly, Li Ping shouted loudly, and in this crowd, he attracted everyone's attention. Not only in this secret realm, but also outside the secret realm. At this time, everyone was slightly stunned. Who is Li Ping? People on the outside, of course, no. When they boarded, many people looked at one of them. This figure was none other than the deputy mayor of Chongyang district in this mountain city. Li Mao also did not think about how could he get such a thing? You know, his son's strength. He is still quite clear. I just woke up a month ago, how strong can I be? Even if he used his power and family foundation to get a pretty good ghost doll, it was only a month. And not everyone is Sumyu's little cub. I don't know if the yellow spot snake is powerful, or if this little guy really has some other talent. I can reach this step in a month's time. Although Li Ping had worked hard in this month, that ghost doll was now only the strength of the ordinary fifth order. In the end, this time entering the secret realm of the dragon, Deputy Governor Li also saved his son to go through the experience and know the excellent peer masters in this world. There was no expectation that it would be able to get any precious resources. Just let them come to see the world. Of course, the most important thing is to make contacts. Those who can come here are all quite good. Young talents in the mountain city, a little acquaintance in the future, whether you want to continue to improve yourself in this royal beast field, or simply go to the business world, or even the political world, is a resource. As a result, this is nothing else. How come this dark horse who came out of nowhere seems to be a bit of a festival with his own son? Sumyu looked at Li Ping and raised his eyebrows with interest. What are you going to do? Li Ping smiled coldly. Today, my ghost doll is very different from a month ago, and today, I want you to know that sometimes the gap in racial potential is insurmountable. Now you kneel down and beg for forgiveness, and forget about the previous things. Without saying a word, the little ghost doll above Li Ping's shoulder also floated out. At once he made a fierce expression at the guy who had scared her enough a month ago and the ugly yellow snake. Looking at this scene in front of him, the corners of Sumyu's mouth pulled slightly. And at this moment, above the square outside this secret place, everyone, including Chairman Wang, looked at Li Mao with strange eyes. Chiefly looked at his nose, and heart, as if he hadn't seen it at all, but his heart was constantly wailing, "Son, don't brag, you don't want to face Daddy." Chapter 025. Sumyu glanced at him, ignored him, and just waved at the red-blooded demon lizard behind him. The instant appearance of this big lizard made the eyes that had originally looked at them stunned. Even Li Ping, who originally wanted to say something again, seemed to be directly choked by someone's throat, looking at the big lizard who was obedient in disbelief. What's going on here? This Sumyu has been promoted to the elite level? No, if this is the case, it will definitely be squeezed out by this secret realm. Even if you force entry, it will even cause the collapse of the secret realm. So what is the situation with this red-blooded demon lizard now? Li Ping blinked, and the ghost doll that he just wanted to pounce on was directly behind Li Ping. Such a big lizard, why did this nasty human always get such a strange but terrible pet beast? The huge red-blooded demon lizard was absorbed into the imperial beast space, and Sumyu did not open his mouth and went directly towards the cave above the top of the mountain. Sumyu, what are you? Chen Xiao hurriedly opened his mouth. Sumyu pulled the fierce wind feather coat on his body. I didn't promise you before, you help me make this thing, I will help you bring the dragon scales. Chen Xiao opened his mouth. Before, she hadn't thought that the pet beast guarding this fire dragon scale was a three-eyed glass beast with imperial potential. The strength of this thing, she can say that she has just seen it. Li Ping, who was on the side, finally found an opportunity to speak. I really don't know how thick the sky is. I think a lizard is invincible. The three-eyed glass beast was a spiritual pet beast with imperial potential. Although the realm has been suppressed to the ordinary level, the ability and skills are still there. Department of Spirits? The corners of Su Mu's mouth were raised, and he really didn't necessarily have confidence before, but after hearing this opening, his heart was determined. Only he really understood how terrifying the yellow mark of the little skin really was. He patted Xiaopai's head. Do you have faith? Sizzle. Good. Su Mu's speed suddenly accelerated, and he stepped directly into the cave above the top of the mountain. Everyone looks at each other. This man really dares to challenge I am really not afraid of what happens to the pet beast in this. If once the pet beast dies, then wouldn't it be? I don't know, but this man must be a lunatic. But I have to say that this boy is a man. Indeed, seeing Yang Muping just now, his white refining tiger was directly seriously injured and fainted. I'm afraid it won't get better in a short time. Li Ping, who the hell is this man? Li Ping pursed his lips and looked into the background of the cave that had entered the cave. Thinking from another position, he really didn't dare to enter this cave like Su Mu. After all, this fire dragon scale, he couldn't use it, although it was of great value, and even helped others to get it. Pure laborious. Unflattering? But once the pet beast has any damage, it may be in the event of a problem, that is, his own life. I have to say that although I am extremely jealous of Su Mu at this moment can indeed make people admire. At this time, outside this secret realm, someone shook his head and said helplessly, this boy will become a great instrument in the future. Rushing forward and self-improvement is the true meaning of the royal beast. Only then can we really take the opportunity to go further. It's a pity that the rest of the little guys in this group were scared out of their guts by the three-eyed glass beast. No way, that's a pet beast of the imperial level who has been suppressed by strength, and when we were young, we didn't dare to take this risk. I just don't know if this little guy can really succeed. Incomparably vast space. There was even some emptiness. It's not just a little cave like the outside. Obviously, in this cave, there is a more unique special space. And at the end of this space, a body full of scales glittering as gorgeous as diamonds, like the pet of a lion and a tiger, lay there quietly. The three eyes seemed to sense that someone had entered, and slowly opened. Roar. A dull roar, as if a fierce wind had struck, made Su Mu's feather coat swing slightly. The little skin, who had always been lazy, suddenly opened his eyes. The orange-yellow pupils of the eyes instantly turned into a needle shape at this moment. The body swung and flew directly from Su Mu's neck, even though its body could be said to be a world apart compared to this three-eyed glass beast. It still heard a hiss that belonged to it in the face of this roar. Sizzle. In the roar, it was all a fierce battle intention, and an excited hiss. The three-eyed glass beast was also interested in this little long worm that dared to take the initiative to provoke itself, and the three eyes looked at the small skin in front of him. At the same time, Su Mu also urged the mythical map to look at this three-eyed glass beast. The three-eyed glass beast, illusion. Level, normal 10th order. Potential, none. Talent, 3 eyes, monarch. Skills, ethereal body, emperor, spirit space, emperor, spirit shock, monarch, disintegration of the line of sight, monarch. Looking at this three-eyed glass beast at this moment, even Su Mu couldn't help but inhale a cold breath. The luxury level of this skill was really unexpected. Not even a general skill, either monarch or imperial rank. No wonder, these young imperial beast masters who were also leaders in the mountain city outside, and even had the courage to take the initiative to come in and challenge, there were few of them. But why an illusion? Su Mu's eyes narrowed slightly. But obviously, the situation in front of him did not have time for Su Mu to think more. This three-eyed glass beast didn't even make any moves. And in this void, it seems that a ripple has appeared out of thin air. Spirit shock? Moreover, it was also a monarch-level spiritual shock, and the ghost doll before it was simply a firefly. And how you like contrast? However, Xiaopai did not panic a little. Sizzle. In an instant, the strange yellow mark on his back began to squirm slowly. Not only that, it was as if at the moment when the yellow seal was squirming, the world of heaven and earth began to rotate at this moment, and everything in the line of sight became incomparably blurred. Then, at a moment that Su Mu didn't even expect, with the twisting of the yellow seal, the world in front of him, as if like glass, directly shattered into pieces. And that huge three-eyed glass beast, no doubt in it, directly turned into pieces, directly collapsed, and disappeared in front of his eyes. This scene, let alone Sumyu, even those big guys outside the secret realm who wanted to concentrate on watching a big battle at this time, and even wanted to see Sumyu eat the pie, were directly stunned. Spikes? What's going on here? 18/11, 11:14 a.m. Sondur, Chapter 026. Any situation they all thought of. For example, this boy who was flaunting his might outside, the strange yellow-spotted snake, was directly killed by this three-eyed glass beast. Then Ash slipped out of this secret realm. For example, after a bitter battle, Sumyu relied on the red blood demon lizard and his own ability to finally grind this three-eyed glass beast to death, and these people even thought about it. But only at this moment, this scene in front of them, none of them had ever thought of it. That is, this yellow-spotted snake, which claimed to be one of the weakest races, actually killed the three-eyed glass beast of the imperial level existence in a single second? What's going on here? Is this earthy yellow worm really a yellow-spotted snake? Some people doubt. Isn't this a baby of a divine beast? Otherwise, why could he directly kill a three-eyed glass beast in a second? Even the president of the king stood up directly at this time, but soon, he sensed that something was wrong. No, this is not a real three-eyed glass beast, but just an illusion. Finally, someone followed Chairman Wang's words and looked at the past again. The cave, or that cave. There is no such huge spiritual space world. Yes, just a cave that seems to be unremarkable. It turns out so. No wonder, so to speak, this three-eyed glass beast is not a true emperor-level existence, just an illusion. I said, how can the yellow-spotted snake be the opponent of the three-eyed glass beast? I was scared to death, but this boy's luck is really good. So many people, few dare to challenge this three-eyed glass beast. Yes, this fire dragon scale was completely picked up in vain. Chairman Wang and Chen Tianyan glanced at each other and glanced at these people. These people have obviously forgotten one thing. That was before, but there was a man who entered it. Moreover, the pet beast was still an ordinary 10th order white refining tiger. However, even a spiritual shock from the three-eyed glass beast could not be resisted. If it weren't for the Imperial Beast Master's quick reaction and directly crushing the eye of the heavenly dome, I'm afraid that it would have been possible for the pet beast to die directly there. And now, this yellow-spotted snake not only resisted that spiritual impact, but even directly shattered this spiritual illusion. This ability is enough to illustrate. Chairman Wang looked at the strange yellow spot snake on the screen with some emotion, and slowly looked at the strange yellow mark on the back of the small leather that seems to have returned to its original form. What the hell is this? How did this little guy breed such a strange pet beast? However, the lieutenant's surnamed son on the side obviously did not pay attention to this, and he suddenly looked excitedly at the screen. Because with his experience of entering the secret realm for so many years, the next step may be the real highlight of this secret realm. Sumyu only felt that the world in front of him was like a shattered mirror at this moment. One by one, the light was reflected, and it took a long time to regain its perception. He glanced at the little skin, which was obviously somewhat weak. Just now the full force of the Huangyin and that spiritual manipulation, it is obvious that this power is still too large in the end. Control down, let the little skin also be a little reluctant. However, it is obvious that the test of this secret realm seems to be nothing more than that. And this is the end of it. In this cave, except for a fiery red scale the size of an adult's palm not far away, at the end of Sumyu's line of sight, a familiar figure also appeared. Three-eyed glass beast? It's just that compared to the three-eyed glass beast that had just been in the spiritual illusion, at this moment, this figure was as huge as a small mountain in this cave. It seems slightly narrow. However, the most important thing is that above this figure, there is no breath coming. No wonder. A glint of essence flashed in Sumyu's eyes. No wonder that three-eyed glass beast just now was an illusion. The real three-eyed glass beast obviously didn't know if it was because of its long years or the loss of its power. It had died. What remains is just an illusion of spiritual imprint. At this moment, Sumyu's heart also surged with an unimaginable ecstasy. For Sumyu, the complete corpse of a powerful pet beast can be said to be more important than anything. His gift of death plunder. After the wind realm of the fierce wind condor that had been plundered before, after Xiaopai learned This time the secret realm trip could go so smoothly, and also got a lot of other good things. A wind realm is already like this, so what about the skills on this three-eyed glass beast? Thinking of this, Sumyu checked it a little, and only then did he directly have the courage to come to the front of this huge three-eyed glass beast that did not know how long it had been dead. Slowly reach out your hand. Diamond-like scales with a faint coolness. Sumyu didn't have time to pay attention to the touch. The death plunder was launched instantly. One skill after another of these three-eyed glass beasts appeared in Sumyu's heart. Now, what made Sumyu a little sorry was that this death plunder could only plunder one skill. The skills on these three-eyed glass beasts can be said to be quite good. However, if there was only one of them, Sumyu could only look at the highest ranks. Ethereal body, Emperor A. Body between nothingness and reality, with a certain power hidden in space, able to dodge, immune to the vast majority of attacks, and mastering a certain short distance of teleportation. Sumyu inhaled a cold breath. Space system ability? This is juxtaposed with the time system, the two strongest attributes. The three-eyed glass beast actually has the ability of the space system. Spirit space. Emperor creates an exclusive space through spiritual power creation, which can create a variety of spiritual terrain. This ability? Sumyu shook his head, although it was also an Emperor-level ability, but compared to that ethereal body, it had to be said to be a lot worse. And in addition to these two skills, there is also a spiritual realm. It is also a domain class skill. However, Xiaopai already had a wind realm, and it was estimated that it would not be necessary to replicate a spiritual realm again. Sumyu didn't hesitate much, so he directly chose this ethereal body. After all, it is a rare space class skill. This ability can greatly improve the weakness of the small skin body at this stage. Moreover, even if it is not taught to Xiaopai, the practicality of this ability is quite strong. However, just after Sumyu Kai had just finished plundering this talent, suddenly, a voice sounded in this cave. Boy, what are you doing? Sumyu raised his head to take a look. A three-eyed glass beast soul with an illusory figure and countless times the size of the three-eyed glass beast stared at himself unkindly. Chapter 027. Look at this illusory three-eyed glass beast in front of you. Sumyu blinked. He hurriedly said, seeing such a powerful divine beast for the first time, I couldn't help but want to get closer and touch some. Feel the aftermath of a predecessor like you? The remaining soul of the three-eyed glass beast was speechless. It was also the first time it had seen such a shameless human being. It could clearly feel that its own soul, which was itself broken, seemed to be missing a part, that is, the mastery of a skill. It took a deep look, but didn't ask much. Terran abilities are too strange. Did you defeat my illusion and enter the human race here? Sumyu nodded hurriedly. No wonder, this time the secret realm exploration. There were so many big people in the mountain city. Is there really any secret hidden in this secret realm? But think about it, the ordinary level secret realm. But there is no such a big gain. Don't say it's such as a general, a monarch level resource. Even the emperor level resources, the fire dragon scales, appeared. If there is nothing abnormal, it is not normal. The three-eyed glass beast obviously didn't have much of a good feeling for Sumyu in its perception. The boy in front of him is a thief. However, it is clear that it can always remain in this secret realm and has its own mission. Sumyu looked at the three-eyed glass beast in front of him and directly threw out something. It is an earthy yellow stone that contains special fluctuations. Then, before Sumyu could react, the three-eyed glass beast said directly, this is my lord's inheritance secret realm key, and only those who hold the key can enter the inheritance secret realm. The location of the secret realm, at the peak of Qilian Mountain in the Yanhuang Northern Realm. When you get there, you can directly catalyze the Earth Element Core. A series of words made Sumyu blink. Pass on the secret key? Sumyu looked at the remnant soul of the three-eyed glass beast that had slowly dissipated. That. Seniors, what is your master? He should still be quite famous among the Terrans, known as the Earth Dragon King. Go home and ask your parents to go. Without saying a word, the figure of the three-eyed glass beast slowly became nothingness directly in the air. Subsequently, the three-eyed glass beast took a somewhat cautious look at Sumyu, and his mind moved, and his original huge corpse also turned into a piece of powder. Sumyu was speechless. What about trust between people? Is he the kind of person who does something about the corpses of such predecessors' pet beasts? However, Sumyu had also sensed that this secret realm had begun to shake and shake. It was about to completely disintegrate and disappear. He quickly returned to his senses and directly put the fire dragon scales on the side into his arms. Then he crushed the eye of the heavenly dome. A flash of light flashed in front of Sumyu's eyes. From the broken secret realm, he appeared directly inside the park gate where he had entered the secret realm before. Then, he felt a series of fiery eyes, and looked at himself unabashedly. I should be under the car, not in the car. At this moment, Sumyu only had this thought in his mind. Just because of this gaze, it was too hot. Let someone like Sumyu be a little embarrassed at this moment. However, a series of figures also flickered in this light gate. One by one, who had not left the secret realm directly, was also forcibly removed from the secret realm by the collapse of this secret realm. One by one, the eyes were a little surprised. Why does this secret realm collapse and collapse? Chen Xiaoxiu's gaze turned for a moment, and he soon saw Sumyu not far in front of him, which was relieved and rushed over. Sumyu, are you all right? Looking at his somewhat embarrassed look at this moment, Chen Xiaoxiu seemed to think of something, and quickly smiled. It doesn't matter. Although the fire dragon scales are important, the appearance of the three-eyed glass beast here is really too outrageous. Not your problem. Just don't let anything happen to your pet beast. It's just that after Chen Xiaoxiu said this, she saw her father come over with a strange face, and he also looked at her very strangely. Then, in the stunned eyes of her and all the young imperial beasts who came out later, she smiled and patted Sumyu's shoulder. Classmate, so, how much is that fire dragon scale? You can make a price. The rest of the dragon's whiskers, earth red copper, and blazing sulfur can also be peddled in Kunlun Group. I Chen Tianyan can guarantee that the price is definitely 20% higher than the market price. Chen Xiaoxiu looked at his father. The next words, she couldn't hear clearly, all of them were above the first half of her father's sentence. Fire dragon scales? Bid A. Price? Sumyu? Chen Xiaoxiu looked at Sumyu in disbelief. Those young imperial beast masters beside him also seemed to understand something at this moment, and looked at Sumyu in disbelief. Sure enough, Sumyu directly took out the fire dragon scale in his arms and smiled at Chen Xiaoxiu, whose red lips were open almost enough to stuff an egg. I said, this fire dragon scale is the reward of Captain Chen for helping me make this feather. Uncle Chen is not welcome? No, no, no. Chen Xiaoxiu reacted first and quickly took a step back. Sumyu was polite, but she was not that kind of girl, and there was no need to say much about the value of the imperial-level materials. Ordinary emperor-level materials have already started in tens of millions, and the fire dragon scales, as a resource that also has the power of the dragon in the fire system, hundreds of millions are not even a problem. Although she did spend a lot of other materials to make that fierce wind feather, she definitely couldn't reach this point. Chen Tianyan smiled slightly. Before, he was not pleased with how to look at this boy. Why now, the more you look at it, the more pleasing it is. On the side, Li Ping looked at the fiery red fire dragon scales in front of him, and Sumyu with a plain smile, blinked, only to feel that he was not hit by some imperial beast skill. Either in a dream or simply into an illusion. Otherwise, how could this Sumyu possibly come up with this fire dragon scale? Doesn't this mean that Sumyu really defeated the three-eyed glass beast? How is this possible? He was still a little confused, even a little overwhelmed, just feeling the moment when the worldview collapsed out of the corner of his eye. He suddenly glanced at his own father, walking towards him with a black face. Chapter 028 Su's talent, of course, is really unexpected. Unexpectedly, in the second experiment in Chongyang district, there was a figure like Su classmate this year, and it seems that there will be another person in the second middle school in the future. Hello, classmate Su, Feel free to come to me when you need to. Sumyu took one business card after another in his hand and looked at the smiling faces one by one. There was no coveting and peeking at his harvest as he had imagined. It's all smiles and affection. Even Li Ping's father, the mayor of Lida, came over and asked Li Ping to give himself a apologize. Everyone saw how exaggerated Sumyu's natural ability was displayed in this secret realm this time, even if there are really people who are jealous and want to take away the opportunity of this boy. However, after seeing Chen Tianyan next to him, he also gave up this idea. The Kunlun group, in the entire mountain city, the entire Sichuan province, and even the entire Yanhuang ancient country, was also able to speak a little. Chen Tianyan was a true heavenly king-level figure with 2 emperor-level pet beasts. Such a figure as him, who dares to provoke without opening his eyes. Chen Tianyan did not spend too long with him. After greeting these people a little and watching Sum Yu holding their business cards, he directly took Chen Xiao with him. However, before leaving, he still directly and forcefully gave himself a bank card. This bank card Sum Yu knew that only if the deposit exceeded 100 million, he could use such a special card. In other words, there is at least 100 million in this card. Before, I was still calculating for a pound of 3,000 pieces of wind orchid grass, and in the blink of an eye, I got such a huge amount of money. Even Sum Yu only felt as if he were in a dream. In this blue star world, the resources and materials of pet beasts are the most precious, and their own strength is indeed the most important. It's just that Sum Yu knew that in fact, this fire dragon scale was even just an addition. The most important thing was undoubtedly the last one given to him by the three-eyed glass beast, the so-called Earth Dragon King's inheritance secret realm key. Secret realms, after some appear, can be entered at will, and some have certain requirements for entering, and some, only specific can enter it. Obviously, the so-called inheritance secret realm of the Earth Dragon King was one of them. However, before entering this secret realm, the president of the king had already said it. The main task of entering the secret realm this time is to find out the identity of the owner of this secret realm. Now, not only did he confirm the identity of the master of the secret realm, but he also got the key to the secret realm of the Earth Dragon King. It can be said that the merit is complete. So, who is the owner of this key? Sum Yu thought about this question. Obviously, the next concern is also this issue. Otherwise, Chen Tianyan and the rest of the people who wanted to be close to him would not have left with the young Imperial Beast Masters so quickly. Sure enough, when he left, Chairman Wang and 2 people he had not seen before slowly walked over. Classmate, so, how does this feel? Sum Yu smiled slightly. Good value for money. It will get better and better in the future. Chairman Wang smiled and said that he was extremely optimistic about the little guy in front of him. Even though the yellow-spotted snake didn't have so many eccentricities, the boy had a special talent. From that red-blooded demon lizard, it can be seen that even if it has wisdom, why is it called a fierce beast that has not become a pet beast? It's because it's untamed. It turned out that this boy was able to make a wild beast obey so much, which was remarkable. This time, without a doubt, you have gained the most in the secret realm and solved one of our mysteries. Let me introduce you. This is the Sun Wanliu Sun Commander who belongs to the Lieutenant of the Touching Gold, Captain Touch Gold. Sum Yu's eyes lit up. Sure enough, this Earth Dragon King did not know what level of existence he had. However, in the secret place of choosing an heir outside, it is possible to put a rare 3-eyed glass beast as a guard. This is a spiritual pet beast with spatial ability, and its preciousness is beyond doubt. Such a secret realm inheritance, he was an ordinary level Imperial Beast Master, and it seemed somewhat unlikely that he would want to grasp it in his hands. However, what Sum Yu did not expect was that after this Sun Wanliu came, he directly opened the door to the mountain. I know that you have a lot of questions in your heart. The Earth Dragon King was the Holy Spirit level Imperial Beast Master who was known to be the strongest defender and the heavenly shield about 1,000 years ago. The key to your secret realm is a key to the secret realm of the holy lineage. As soon as these words came out, Sum Yu inhaled a cold breath. However, before he could speak, Sun Wanliu smiled again this time. I am in charge of this matter, so I have a certain authority. Classmates, so, you can listen. First, you give me this secret key, and I can directly decide and give you the one Holy Spirit level resource you want directly from the official, an Imperial Pet Beast Cub. At the same time, after exploring the Dragon King's secret realm, you are also qualified to choose one of them. The second is that you are in charge of this thing yourself, and when you feel that you are strong enough, you choose to go to the secret realm yourself. At the same time, Captain Toucher will give you all the help to escort you throughout the journey and provide all the help unconditionally, and all the treasures produced are at your own disposal. Sum Yu looked at Sun Wanliu in disbelief. He really did not expect that this condition would be so superior. It seemed to see Sum Yu's surprise. Sun Wanliu smiled slightly. It doesn't have to be this way. Your talent is there for all to see, and it is also natural to be able to explore this secret place in the future. Do not doubt the tolerance of the state in this regard. You can think about it. Within a month, I will be in the mountain city. This is my newsletter. There is news can come to me at any time. Sun Wanliu handed Sumyu a business card. Without waiting for Sumyu to react, Yin Meng on the side also smiled slightly. Classmate Su is young and promising. Sumyu glanced at it. This woman has a temperament that is diametrically opposed to Chen Xiaoxiao, cold and arrogant, mature and intellectual, which is two different styles. However, Sumyu didn't think much of it, and purely regarded it as the deputy of this Sun Commandery. Chairman Wang on the side smiled and said, "Okay, this trip to the secret realm can be described as a complete merit. Sumyu, do you remember what I said before?" Sumyu nodded hurriedly. This president of the Yamashiro Royal Beast Master Association is the real dog owner. Chairman Wang smiled and said, "If that's the case, then come with me." By the way, Sumyu also showed excitement. The collection of a president of the Imperial Beast Master Association is indeed not small. Chapter 029 Night. Sumyu, who came out of the gate of the mountain city, Royal Beast Master Association, slowly let out a breath, waved his hand, and after bidding farewell to the king president, finally got on the car home. At this moment, there was already one more thing in his Imperial Beast space. It's a crystal that's crystal clear. It is called Void Spirit Stone. The effect is very simple. You can expand the size of the Imperial Beast Master's Imperial Beast space. Although it is not a direct realm upgrade, it can also speed up the realm improvement speed and potential of the Imperial Beast Master. To a large extent, the ability of the Imperial Beast Master is related to the Imperial Beast space. The larger the Imperial Beast space, the more energy can be manipulated. The faster the pet beasts in the Imperial Beast space grow, the faster the injury recovery rate will be. Even once the scope of the Imperial Beast space has grown to a certain point, it can be operated as a small world and a small world. It is okay to plant some spirit grass and heavenly treasures needed by pet beasts. A high-level Imperial Beast Master, in addition to being powerful, the resources he could cultivate were also extremely diverse. Otherwise, where would the resources such as Dragon's Whiskers and Dragon's Blood Fruit come from in the Dragon Secret Realm that we are experiencing today? Thinking of this, the smile at the corner of Sumyu's mouth slowly disappeared. Caught up in thought, I remembered the words of the Sun Commander during the daylight today, and after Sumyu asked this President Wang about this, Chairman Wang's answer. His advice is also simple. Give this thing to Sun Wanliu? The reason is also very simple. This thing, as a Holy Spirit level existence of the Inheritance Secret Realm, even if it exists as an Inheritance Secret Realm, but the danger inside, it is estimated that there is no Imperial level strength. Do not dare to enter at will? So, when will this thing work? Although Sumyu's talent was recognized, it would take a long time to reach the Imperial level, and during this time, he needs to take a career test, study, and even go to the field to fight. Still thinking about the contract to cultivate the rest of the pet beasts, where is it so easy and simple? It is better to directly study things to Lieutenant Touch, lie down and take the benefits. If you are about to break through the elite level, you can also apply for an incomparably precious cub of the Imperial Pet Beast. Such treatment, even President Wang himself did not have. It can well be imagined. Not to mention, there is also an optional spirit level resource, as well as any of the treasures that can be selected in the future after really exploring the Dragon's Secret Realm. Thinking of this, Sumyu finally made up his mind. In fact, he didn't care at all about what kind of Earth Dragon's Secret Realm and what kind of Earth Dragon King's inheritance was. What if there really are some intimately passed down legacies, such as the secret evolution of some special pet beasts, such as some rare resources? 1,000 years ago, the Imperial Beast Masters really liked brooms and cherished themselves. Even if some evolutionary methods are discovered, they are treasured as the secret methods of their inheritance. However, not to mention whether the Earth Dragon King's inheritance special evolutionary cultivation method has been exposed in modern times. Even if there is none, even if there is a pet beast that can evolve into a spirit level, so what? I have a mythological picture book of my own. One by one the evolutionary methods in the mythological picture book, instead of developing them well, they should instead get this kind of inheritance evolution of the Earth Dragon King? That's really picking up sesame seeds and throwing watermelons. and how to improve their strength as quickly as possible is the top priority. Sumyu suddenly thought that when he finally left, this President Wang also said to himself, as if, this year's professional assessment is very different. If you have a chance, you still have to work hard to sprint through this year's assessment. However, listening to his meaning, it seems that there is not much hope for himself. After all, even if the strength he showed today, even if it was strong, it was only at the ordinary level. In previous years, every session of the professional assessment conference, elite, almost one of the basic conditions. Only when the elite is in the upper ranks, and if they control more than one pet beast, can they achieve good results in the mountain city, which almost gathers all the examiners in the entire Sichuan province. And Sumyu's goal naturally could not just achieve a good result. What's different about this year's assessment? Sumyu shook his head, not thinking much about it. He only knew one thing now. Next, in the 6 months before the arrival of the career assessment, I want to improve my strength at the greatest speed. Back at home, release the little skin and the red-blooded demon lizard that has been holding back for most of the day. Sumyu quickly found that there was one more important thing than the thing that quickly made these two guys improve their strengths. And it has to be done as soon as possible. That's changing houses. The red-blooded demon lizard raised its head, looked at its own body before it appeared, and subconsciously swung its tail, making the sofa shatter. It let out a snort sound with some grievances. Obviously, it really didn't mean it. Sumyu knew it wasn't intentional. He also understood. It's time to change my place to live. After all, he had set his own ambitions. Build one of the strongest pet beast brigades, including the second team in charge of the nursing home such as the red blood demon lizard. As far as I live in this place now, I'm afraid that pet beasts can't even stretch out their wings and raise their legs, so where else can they use any nursing home? So, Sumyu patted the head of the red blood demon lizard. It doesn't matter, we have money, wait a few days to find a big house, a big villa to live in. Snort, the red-blooded demon lizard cried out in excitement. Xiao Pai looked at his master with some surprise. His own owner did not even rebuke this ugly lizard? What a surprise! Xiao Pai's gaze took a somewhat dangerous look at the red-blooded demon lizard. Could it be that the master was moved by his heart and prepared to contract this stupid and weak ugly lizard? Wouldn't this thing be able to sit on an equal footing with it in the future? This is not okay. Xiao Pai hissed at the red blood demon lizard. And Dengshi let the red blood demon lizard that was circling them quickly lie on the ground again, and the two not-so-thin forelimbs held their heads. Xiao Pai's thoughts, Sumyu did not know. He just looked at this red-blooded demon lizard with some pity. Where does this guy know that after moving to a new home and the dust has settled, he will start working on the first stage of the evolution of this red-blooded demon lizard? At that time, this big lizard that is now alive and jumping, I don't know how much strength there is to be so active. What a look forward to it! Sumyu shook his head, and then took out today's share of wind orchid grass in the imperial beast space and handed it to Xiao Pai. At the same time, I fell into meditation. Today's harvest is really too great. The most important thing is undoubtedly the dragon's blood fruit. He really wanted to try it eagerly. How long could the dragon's blood fruit's physical enhancement allow him to meditate with the help of the yellow seal? Chapter 030. That strange yellow seal slowly swirled in Sumyu's mind. Compared to Xiao Pai itself, Sumyu seemed to have a more understanding of this yellow seal under his meditation. Before Sumyu, after entering this meditative state, the duration could not even be done for half an hour, and it's a shallow meditation case. However, now, the power of the dragon blood fruit, even at this moment, made his body feel as if it were burning. The power of one after another is constantly filling the body. When this power was not used, Sumyu had not yet sensed anything wrong. And in the midst of this obviousness, the heat flow began to surge rapidly and incomparably. The speed of rotation of the yellow seal in the soul of his mind also became more and more rapid, and in an instant, Sumyu only felt that his mind consciousness had completely entered this rotating yellow seal. As if directly into the dream, the perspective is constantly improving, rising, and a yellow mist slowly spreads. In the mist, there are shadows of shadows. In the twisting, in the turbulence, and in the ear, at the same time, a series of murmuring sounds sounded. Such a whisper, heard in the ears of others, it is estimated that it will not be able to resist for too long, and it will directly fall into the horror of madness. However, in Sumyu's induction, such a whisper actually made his spiritual meditation increase in speed, I don't know how many times faster. At the same time, he could clearly hear the content of this whisper. This is a special kind of text. It's also a more bizarre language. Unlike any language and writing that Sumyu knew, it had extremely strange powers. The speed of spiritual power increase, along with this situation, is also more and more terrifying. And right now, the red-blooded demon lizard, which was originally in the corner of this house, narrowed its small triangular eyes and looked at the scene in front of it in disbelief. It was also relieved by Sumyu's deep sleep and Xiaopai's entry into the Imperial Beast space. Even involuntarily gave birth to some crooked thoughts. I heard that the human beast masters themselves are extremely weak. But now, it just wants to completely corrode the person who sent this message with venom? Sling the bull? At this moment, Sumyu was covered in and down, as if surrounded by shadows. The shadow swayed wildly on its body. It seems to be a tentacle stretched out at random, and it seems to be a snake's tail struggling randomly. Vicious, evil, weird. Even an unspeakable wave raged out, making the red blood demon lizard only subconsciously tremble and not even dare to look. Even the letter in his mouth that was used to detect the signal did not dare to stick out his mouth again this time. It felt that the slightest touch of this human being, even one more look, one more time of perception, it would directly turn into madness. Directly become a beast without self-awareness. That's all it is more afraid of. Provoking the human beings in front of it after it transforms into a beast. Then his own life disappeared directly. The human being lying there, at this moment, had no more terrifying existence than that. Reality, spirit, seems to be distorted by this. The red-blooded demon lizard could only tuck its head into the corner of the house, holding its head with two front paws. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. The time of this night was an unimaginably huge torture for the red-blood demon lizard. That inexplicable fear, the involuntary oppression, made its spirit even about to collapse. Fortunately, this feeling, accompanied by the slow lighting of the sky, finally disappeared. And Sumyu, who had meditated for a night, finally opened his eyes. Open your eyes and look at the first moment of this heaven and earth, as if the world is distorted. Every color of the world is like a dye thrown into the water, which becomes incomparably bright at this moment, and at the same time involuntarily spreads. However, this feeling returned to normal in an instant. The rapid improvement of the spiritual realm made Sumyu really uncomfortable for a while. Sumyu shook his head slightly. Night time? In just one night's time, under the meditation of this yellow seal, his realm had already made a breakthrough. The feedback brought about by the previous month's Xiaopai breakthrough, as well as his intermittent meditation, made his realm reach the ordinary fifth order. However, just one night had passed, and at this time, it had been elevated again, directly reaching the point of the eighth order. One night of meditation directly elevates 3 small realms? When this news spreads, I'm afraid no one will believe it. At the same time, Sumyu's perception swept slightly in his Imperial Beast space. He had thought that he would go to see the house today and find a new place to live. As a result, this plan is about to be put on hold for the time being, at least not now, just because, just a day has passed. The little skin, which had just finished molting for the 4th time 2 days ago, had once again entered the molting, and this time, it seems that the time is a little longer than usual. Contract Pet Beast breakthrough will feed back to their own promotion, and their own improvement will also be fed back to the pet beast. Although he said that the Void Realm Spirit Stone he had obtained from the president of the Imperial Beast Master Association had not yet been used, during this night's meditation, the realm had broken through. As a result, this month's time, the small skin that had been suppressed to increase the speed was also suddenly released. After swallowing a large amount of wind orchid grass, along with Sumyu's ascension, he also fell into a deep sleep of molting. This time of sleeping molting, Sumyu naturally understood the importance. Although this is only the 5th molt, it is only halfway through the last 9. However, at this time, the little skin was already an ordinary level 10 order. Sumyu had reason to guess that after the completion of this molting, Xiaopai's promotion to elite level was a nail. Generally speaking, the realm gap between the Imperial Beast Master and the Imperial Beast, a large level, is the limit. Therefore, Sumyu did not care about the burden that Xiaopai's promotion might bring to him. On the contrary, After the dragon blood fruit greatly improved his physique, in one night's time, the realm crossed the triple level. Although Sumyu could feel that he could not meditate so deeply again in the past few days, Sumyu was also confident that he could definitely catch up with the speed of improvement. In Sumyu's perception, this time the molting process lasted for a full morning of small skin, and finally there were some movements again. Sumyu finally stretched out his hand and helped Xiaopai to carry out this forced molting this time.